Got a good voice.
No. I got some electronics. I didn't really write that. I lied.
Oh.
No. I'm writing a country song.
Are you writing a country song? You going to sing like that on it?
You can probably do that. Take me home. Oh, I forget which key this is in. Take me home.
I don't think it's that one.
Country road to the place I belong. West Virginia. That's all I got.
Help me.
Help me, Jesus. Help me.
See, now he's back. Look at that.
I'm back.
Yeah.
This is me. One of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I am me and you at the same time. It's deep depth. That's what we call that.
Hashtag depth.
Hashtag depth.
Yeah, that's great because it's like an oxymoron, right? Hashtag depth. We should start that shit. Hashtag depth.
Dude, hashtag depth.
Yeah.
Everybody, get that shit out there.
So much depth in those tiny little pockets of words.
We need to definitely put that out there. Everything we post.
Okay. Today's show is called Hashtag Depth. Depth. Hashtag Depth.
Depth. There we go. I felt a little.
Whoa.
I'm trying to take it down.
Are you adjusting your levels?
Well, it was hot.
Jesus fucking Christ,
no,
people.
It was hot
It
a
was.
little, and
It
I knew
was
it was
hot.
this because I think it got bumped. There's bump.
That got bumped. We have a whiskey knockover. You better go get a towel. I'll entertain the
Charles
masses.
Manson Christ.
So John's off to a good start today, people. He's gonna go get something.
I am hit.
Is a first.
You know what?
I'm glad you people witnessed that.
Christened.
The room has been christened. John has, and hey, the glass did not break. By the way, the glass did not break. Welcome everybody. It smells like whiskey in here. Hashtag depth. Hashtag depth.
Yes.
It is the 20th. God, I don't even know today's date. 27th of September. Here in Minnesota, the weather's all sorts of fucked up.
I don't know. It's been nice. I kind of like the cool weather.
Yeah, me too. I mean, not fucked up like a hurricane fucked up. Again, those people, I'm glad most got through that, but man, it's flooding, all that shit, man. It sucks. We really hope all you make it through it, and
I want you to make through it, and I want you to get the help you need. So I need some people, you know who you are, pull your head out of your ass and help those fucking people.
yeah, have fun with life, but also remember those who just getting back to their home would be a fucking victory. So
well, just there for a while. I
Yeah.
don't know where the fucking glass went.
it's back there by the door, and it's intact. He did not break the glass. Oh, we got some bings and bangs. You are just a fucking mess,
That's
man.
Twitter. Twitter's saying, "Hey."
We just got just a fucking mess.
This is live. This is reality TV.
This is Nate Throne saying that's alcohol abuse. I completely agree. That was perfectly good whiskey, and you're going to have to go get more now.
I'm aware of the things that must happen.
I can keep the people entertained, sort of. I don't know.
Tell them a joke about an old lady. The bingo joke.
The bingo joke. Oh, well, that you just ruined the joke by saying bingo.
Well, but now they know I ruined the joke. They wouldn't know that.
Okay, so there's a joke. How do you make a little old lady jump or something like that, and have another little old lady yell bingo? Or no, how do you make a... See, I already fucked it up. The joke was fucked up before, but I somehow found a way to make it worse. I don't know. Shit's happening. This is just... It's a shit show. But a good one. A good shit show. So, here we are. He's getting more whiskey. He's probably going to spill it again. Whatever. So, what have I been doing this week? Well, last night, for some fucking reason, I decided that I'm going to watch some network television. I don't fucking watch network television. I don't. But it was Star Trek, and I'm a big Star Trek The Next Generation fan. So I decided, all right, let's see what this new Star Trek Discovery is all about. So I decided, all right, I'm going to go check that shit out. And it's completely different. It's modern. It's welcome back. I was just talking to our audience. Well, it's whiskey. Don't knock that over, by the way. See, this, you know what's funny? When you were setting that thing up, we'll get back to Star Trek Odyssey. When you set that in front of there, the first thing that I thought of was he's going to reach for that fucking thing to change his voice a bunch of times, and that glass is in the way. And I didn't say anything.
So you foreshadowed internally
Yeah.
without sharing. He was my best friend.
So, yeah, I was telling him, have you seen Star Trek Odyssey? Have you watched
I
it?
have not.
Okay.
I know of it.
I'm not going to
You know
get
what?
in depth with it, but
No, feel free.
yeah, no.
Because
I wouldn't ruin anything.
I'm halfway curious about it now because I haven't really looked forward to it, to be quite honest.
Same. Yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, I'll check it out.
Well, yeah, because we had all the different offshoots, and most of them, I don't know, I thought were bland and just so predictable.
I didn't get into Voyager.
No.
I didn't really get into Deep Space Nine, which it was actually on for a long time, and a lot of people liked it.
Do you know why I didn't like Voyager?
Why?
Catherine Mulgrew was the captain.
Yeah,
Love Catherine Mulgrew as an actress.
but not as a captain?
Fantastic.
Really?
Well, no. Fuckers. Genevieve Bujold was supposed to be the captain.
Who's that?
She was, her big claim to fame is, she was a big actress in the 70s, Coma, the movie Coma, where
I don't know that one.
She discovered that they were taking these bodies and putting people in comas so they could harvest their organs and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really good fucking story.
Because of that, she would have made a better captain.
Yes.
Nice.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
No, she's beautiful and just a great actress, and she's got a certain amount of depth, and she brings a lot to the table.
Yep.
Not that Catherine Mulgrew didn't. She didn't. It's just no.
Sorry. Yeah.
Just no.
Yeah, didn't get into that. This one, I'm gonna give it a shot. Seems like it has a big budget.
Did you like the one with the Quantum Leap dude?
Quantum Leap, dude? I never.
Scott Bakula?
I didn't see that one. Oh God, that wasn't that long ago, was it?
That
No, I
was-
didn't get into that at all.
I think I gave that half like the first episode.
Oh, really? That bad?
Well, you know, you gotta have principle. You gotta have a line.
Well, you got to understand, Star Trek it can be kind of look. What's the word I'm looking for? Cheesy, right?
Can
I
be.
mean, that Star Trek is way more cheesy to me than Star Wars is.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but it's a known quantity.
yeah, exactly.
You know that going
and that
in.
cheese is still there with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
it's
also-
it takes a lot of chances, and it's more actiony. It's like a mix between J.J. Abrams type of Star Trek, but with more depth to it, I think.
Depth or depth?
Depth and depth, yeah.
Sweet.
So the first 2 episodes of it get you prepared for what the show is actually going to be.
Is it pretty brutal? I mean, honestly brutal, you know?
But not like brutal by our standards. We've seen some shit. I once saw this dude come in and spill fucking drink on the ground. That's pretty fucking crazy, dude.
It looked like he slammed it to the ground.
Hashtag depth.
Hashtag depth.
Yeah. I don't know. Check it out. It's something I'm going to get into, but... So, generally what I do is I will go onto a Rotten Tomatoes site, something like that, some critic site, and I will look at the critics' ratings before I go and watch it, which is wrong, because I tend to sheep a little bit when it comes to that.
What I will do, I do have a system for this.
Yeah.
Watch and learn. I'll look at the rating. Right? I'll look at the rating. I'll look at the actors. And I'll look at the premise
Before you go and watch it.
before I watch it.
Okay, sorry.
And, you know, because you want it to at least be in the genre
Yeah,
that you like, you know?
sure.
Or at least something that's going to surprise you. So, but you really can't go wrong. I mean, there's been a couple times where it's like when we have been wrong, Brenda and I will look at each other and be like,
This is bad.
she's like, do it.
This is bad.
There was one movie, it's one of those found footage UFO movies. And I got almost to the very end. Literally, I probably had 10 minutes left before the big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
And I just shut it off because it was like the ending. It was just so ridiculously and impossibly predictable.
Oh, that sucks.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, just everything. Every time they
Fairy-tale-y.
turn around, it's like you know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, but
It was nice to go into a show like Star Trek and just have my own opinion on it and then see what the critics think. Because there are holes in it. I mean, it's a Star Trek show. It's trying to
a
figure
Star Trek
itself
show,
out.
of course.
But it was weird with maybe I won't ruin it for you, but it was the critics had a completely different rating than the viewership for the most part. Which
Right,
was
yeah.
strange. Okay, so I had my own opinions on it. Well, then I decided, okay, well, I read some of the comments in the forums, and all these like old school TNG people were saying, fuck this show, fuck Discovery, fuck all this shit. The only thing that comes close is the Orville. That is the swan song or whatever.
Right.
That's probably the wrong term, but whatever for TNG.
By the way,
Yeah.
nice segue.
Oh, thank you.
That was a piece of art.
Yeah.
I like that. That's fucking good.
Yeah.
Hold on. Just fucking glad that's not whiskey.
Exactly, you're bumping into shit. But
Hey, I'm sitting still and bumping into shit.
so that got me to watch the Orville.
And the Orville,
Yeah.
I watched the first episode. So it was funny. I'll give it that. Will it hold my attention? I hope so. Because my fear is, did they have enough to fill it out?
I'm finding that it's marketed as a comedy, which with Seth MacFarlane, you if you've seen any of his stuff, you know his comedy. They're going to beat something into the ground and then move on.
Yeah, but there's going to be some form of social commentary to it as well.
And these jokes are dropped at really odd times in between very
Inopportune or opportune.
yeah,
moments.
it's they have a close to the current vein of society discourse in this show, and it's everywhere.
Not unlike South Park
Yeah, South Park keeps it modern because they make the episodes.
in 6 days.
Yeah, but they're also attacking things like South Park's fucking great, but this is different. You have to watch it. I don't want to ruin it for people, but it's not it's not a comedy as much as you think it would be. They actually
But still funny, but they still deal with
Yeah.
issues. Hey, is it me?
yeah.
Or is that really strong chick? That little chick is really strong.
Yeah.
Is she kind of hot?
Yeah, why not?
I get a total fucking hot vibe.
They stole her look from like a Betazoid type. You remember the ridges?
Yeah.
And then they have a guy who's like a Klingon, but the crazy part about this, if you are a Star Trek: The Next Generation fan, this show is meant for us.
Yeah, you'd like it.
If you don't know Star Trek: The Next Generation, you have no care in the world about it. You might not like this as much.
Favorite Star Trek episode? Star Trek Next Gen episode.
The Next Generation?
Yeah. No, we're not going to get in a geek off here.
I like Fistful of Datas is a good one. That's where I think it's what's the one I'm thinking of? Where they go into the holodeck and it's like an old Al Capone, like
I
Tommy
remember
guns
that.
and shit. Yeah,
Was that the
pretty
Borg
good.
one? Cause,
No, that wasn't.
Because they did that in the Borg too.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
where
remember it.
he killed him with fucking hard light.
And then there was The Game was a memorable one. That's where everybody got those games that they were like
That's
putting.
right.
Yeah, and it's taking over their minds. Yeah.
The
What
aliens
about
are
yours?
taking over the ship. All good things.
The
Part
first,
1 and 2.
the end one.
Fuck yeah.
Those are the last two episodes.
I know.
With Q. Q was awesome.
Oh, the Borg. I loved all the Borg.
Yeah, sure.
Stuff. I loved at Tanagra. And Picard.
Yeah,
at Tanagra.
he was trapped on that planet with that
Yeah.
alien. That was really cool, and they had to figure out ways to talk, and that
And
alien had to
They had to figure out how to
peculiar dialect. Yeah,
defeat that fucking whatever it was. Mm-hmm. I like how they killed Tashi R off with just such a quick.
she wanted off the show.
She wanted off the show. They're like, "You want off the show? All right, you're gonna get eaten by a fucking tar monster."
That's not as bad as fucking Steven Seagal in what the hell was it?
Final
No,
executive decision.
Executive decision.
That was
He
his call, though.
Yeah, he wanted off. And then the
wanted off.
claymation death of it was the worst visual death. Yeah, it was terrible.
It's like he fell out of a plane
Yeah.
and had a seizure as he. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That
because it
was
was kind of like
pretty
a
funny.
Wile E. Coyote thing, It's
Yeah.
like where he falls into the air and he's like, "I'm in open air," and then once he realizes and then he falls.
They were trying to get into the first. No, it was the president's plane. What the hell do they call that? Air One or whatever.
No, it wasn't Air Force One. It was a
Oh.
smaller, but they had to get down where the avionics are and shit. That's
Yeah.
all under the ship.
They
Plane.
attached to it with another plane. Whoops,
Yeah.
and then he's a claymation version of fucking Steven Seagal. Just
I never heard why. Was it just he thought this? Did he think the screenplay was stupider than like most of his other movies?
fucking, that guy has no ground to stand on when it comes to I'm picky in what I choose.
He cannot judge. We've decided, right?
Yeah.
We decided. No judging.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steven. Come on the show. We'll talk about it.
So TNG fans, check out the Orville. There you go.
It does look good. Like I said, the first episode was great. I'm just my only fear, trepidation, vexing thoughts, as it were. Can they sustain the show?
I would be surprised if it gets more than 2 seasons.
I'll be surprised if it makes it more than one, just
Yeah.
because I don't know if the public is going to embrace. They don't. That's one thing about the when really cool shit comes out, and it's not so much focused at a particular demographic, but it still attracts a particular demographic. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
And so the others are sometimes. How do I say this? Because this is going to sound so fucking mean, right? But when you look at a lot of a slice of the demographic that enjoy sci-fi, Serenity, Firefly, Star Trek, there's a sliver of them that are they come out and it's like they've been in their mom's basement for the last 6 months.
Yes.
And they have this failure of facial hair attempts
and hygiene.
Hygiene is almost always in question for this little segment.
But it's funny how the public focuses on that. They almost treat that just like they treat fundamentalist Muslims or Christians or something. You know what I mean?
On.
Yeah.
Not that it's a persecution thing. We're not comparing ourselves with the martyrs of the East or anything like that. But you said it. People will look down upon that like, oh, that's stupid. Whereas, if they didn't have that prejudgment, they could go and see the movie and go, well, you know what? That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then, someone else would be like, man, I was hoping you'd say something. I kind of liked it too.
Yep.
Because I'm not a Firefly fan.
Same. I didn't like Serenity, really.
But I could watch Serenity over and over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. I thought they had some great moments in there. They had they had the kind of moments that would have been better if what's his name? Who's the dude with the sword?
It's been so long.
You know
since
who I'm
I've
talking
seen
about,
that.
right?
That movie was so forgettable to me because they didn't build characters.
Well,
they did in the show. That's the problem.
No, I know,
but
they did come with the dude with the sword, the black guy. What's his name? I forget what his name is. But he was with the one captain who had fucked up and let her get away. He's like, "You're a captain. You have failed in all of your duties. The right thing to do would be to fall on your sword." And he holds a sword against the floor, man. And this captain's like. And just impales himself on the sword. I'm like, wow, that's some. I just thought for that dude to have that kind of power, it just kind of gave you an idea because he didn't stab him with it. Mm-mm. He didn't demand he do it. He just said, as someone in your rank, this is what you should do, and he did it. And it was like, wow, he's an asshole, but
he has loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of evil loyalty there.
Yeah. So sorry,
neckbeards. That's another name for them there, Nate. I like
these
it.
People
neckbeards.
Yes.
Dwellers and.
But you get some like when Star Trek Episode 1 came out, we went to the midnight showing.
The original Star Trek.
I'm sorry.
TNG movie?
No, Star Wars.
Oh, sure.
Episode 1.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. I went to that too. I was at not the midnight, but
we went to the midnight.
That's awesome.
And
it was on a Wednesday.
It's crazy because I had no idea there were so many 350-pound Jedis out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you got these guys walking in their big capes and they got their fucking lightsaber, and I'm like, wow.
Yep. It attracts a very unique crowd.
Obi wanted cheeseburger.
Yeah. Well, they use their Jedi powers to not have to walk or use exercise. They just kind of float around, and eventually you'll become that big.
And I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them, but it's like, I think when you come out, especially if you want to celebrate your passion with other people, just shower. Just wash behind your nuts.
It's
a little
that
bit.
easy, people. Just take a shower.
Just kind of,
trim your fingernails.
Do some trimming.
Do some trimming in other areas. Sure. I mean,
if you're coming in like a mankini, we don't want to see any fucking
yeah.
vines and shit hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. So geeks out there, just give us a better name, would you?
Yeah, come on. Just work with us. Like, you love Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
A fun game. But man, we'd go to some of these tournaments and...
I was just about to tell that story. Were you at that one?
Which one?
Okay, so we were at this was a place called we were there for like
Source?
a midnight opening. We got into Magic balls deep for a little while there.
Yeah,
it was a lot of
Source,
fun.
right?
It was at Source. And so we're there for a little get together tournament with people before they release this new pack that we're picking up, right?
That was a fun night.
And we're sitting there playing Magic the Gathering, and you and I are on the outliers of this. We're not normal, but we're more normal than most of the people you meet at this place.
We maintain a normal
Exactly.
appearance.
So we're kind of looking around and, okay, all right. It's a mixed crowd at these things. Well, there's a group at this place who were not playing Magic. They were doing some sort of Star Trek role play board game at some table.
That's right.
And they got into an argument over who the best captain in any Star Trek series or comic book or television show who the best captain was, and they were kind of doing the pros and cons of this captain versus that captain, and they're getting into a real good, respectful argument. Well, at the Magic the Gathering table, these kids started to like look at them, start laughing, and like pass judgment on them. And I remember looking at you, or maybe it was you. I don't remember if you were there or not, but it was.
I was there that night.
Oh,
yeah.
you were? Okay,
Yeah.
I just remember looking around like, we're playing Magic the Gathering. We shouldn't be judging anybody on their nerd level at all.
You give up nerd card once you get into nerd activities.
It was fucking hilarious. I'm like, Jesus Christ, these guys are fucking delusional. Like, this is how everything works, though. When you're in deep, you always look for somebody who's in deeper to make yourself feel a little bit better, right?
Yes, I know that is a human trait that I really dislike.
Yeah.
But Magic the Gathering, when we go to some of these tournaments, you know, you pay what, $10, $15?
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
That's the
not much.
cheapest thing about
But then
Magic.
you get paired up with a 7-year-old
Yeah, you're playing kids.
who's
and,
fucking good.
and they,
Fucking dick. He's like, yeah, he was Asian.
ego check.
But-
yeah.
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 But, you know, I remember that one time I think it was one of the last tournaments I was in. We were over in St. Louis Park.
Yeah.
And I was playing against this dude. Remember that night? And he was good. But I decked him the first time, and
These were long games. That's what that means. So he played a really long game against a guy.
No, I had that one deck that
Yeah.
made
him discard, but that can take a long time. Those
made him
games are
draw.
not quick.
Lots of draw after he had the, that was.
Yeah.
But then the next one, he got me, and then the third one, it was just he decked himself. Mm-hmm. You know, because he was looking for something. I forget what it was, but I remember him halfway through, or we're almost to the end, and he's like, "Man, I don't want to lose this way."
Some people take that way too
Yeah, and he was
seriously.
loud. I mean, he wasn't like whispering. I mean,
Yeah.
you could hear it all the way down the table. And well, you know, I won, and it wasn't a good win. I mean, you know,
No.
it was actually not even a good set.
We were never really good at Magic. We were there kind of learning and having fun because
Yeah,
the
it's fun.
game is complex. That's the only reason I liked it. I wish it could have been something completely different on those cards, not like Wizards and Magic. But the game had so many complexities and things to learn that it was kind of
You know, it'd be
kind of fun.
it'd be cool.
My stomach,
Here's
yeah.
I heard that
Yeah, nuts.
it'd be cool to come up with a game like that. Only it's just the text on the card to white, like black text,
Sure.
white card.
Yeah.
That's all. That would be kind of that's a small demographic, but
Well, because they're putting in all these mages and stuff and all of this, as a lot of people say, make 'em ups on the cards, that it cuts your fucking, what do you call it, demographic in half, if
Yeah.
not more. You know, if you put something on there like,
trucks.
I don't know, something universal, like, I don't know, some sort of technology thing, or fucking the Kardashians are a card, or, you know what I mean? Something stupid.
But just think,
Yeah.
think of like a vehicles one, towards like
Sure.
you know, it's like, did you ever play Millborns?
No, I don't know that one.
Millborns.
Oh, that's it, old school game.
Old
Let's
school
see.
game.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
this game is like
Card game.
fucking old, and it is like one of the best fucking card games ever. It's basically you have to go like 1,000 miles, right? And so you've got mileage cards you play that let you move on, and then but there's like you can draw an accident, or someone can throw an accident at you, and there's all kinds of cool shit that can happen. Stoplights, green lights, but they're just cards you play, you know.
Gotcha.
And it's an awesome game. So something like that would be cool in that fashion.
Sure. Yeah, so just pick a theme that's a little more universal and then apply a game like that to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, imagine the kind of mechanics, because that's one thing I loved about Magic was the different mechanics.
Yeah.
Even watching some of the new, because I buy a pack every once in a while, and somehow I almost always pull, the last deck pack I got a Mythic.
Yeah, Magic has this thing where you can get like a card in there that has like like foil look to it or whatever.
Right.
And those cards
Can sometimes be worth money.
they sell. They all sell. You could turn around and one card could be $50. One card
Well,
could be $35.
last winter I pulled the 2 lands from that last set, and that was like,
Yeah, those are worth over
I think
100.
I got 150
Yeah.
for each for those.
Yep. So it's kind of cool.
Remember that time we were at the game in the Southdale Mall where we played?
Oh yeah, we were playing at some just local thing there, and some guy pulled this pack out, and he had 2 of this.
Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, that's what it was called, Tarmogoyf. It's like this, I don't know, creature card or whatever.
It's the most expensive card, I think, in Modern right then. It was like $300. No, it was like $400 for just the regular Tarmogoyf, but the foil one was like it was like $1,000.
Yeah, he pulled a pack that had it in its regular form and a foil version of it or whatever, and he could have turned around. I think he could have made like $800 or something. But
We're
that's
geeking pretty heavy
insane.
here tonight.
That's all right. Whatever. Ain't no thing. Well, let's move on to I had a good conversation with Jim Carrey.
Wow.
Yeah, Jim Carrey is so obviously everybody knows who fucking Jim Carrey is, but
Yeah,
I don't
unless you
think
live
you
under a fucking
know
rock.
you don't know who Jim Carrey is anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find a lot of interviews and shit from him and on YouTube and stuff, and he kind of left the limelight for a while to study art and kind of figure out life.
Yeah, and people say he went crazy.
I don't think
Whatever.
so.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But in a world gone mad, the sane man is the anomaly.
Yep.
So he gets it. It's really cool stuff to see some of the stuff he does and hear some of the things he has to say.
And the cool part about him is he doesn't really have a filter. You know, he's the upfront Jim Carrey. He's not as animated anymore, but
he's still fun.
He has no shame like Jim Carrey.
Right.
Jim Carrey had no shame before, and he's the same way with this new outlook on life, and it's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, and he's like, just stop worrying about shit. You can't control. None of this shit matters.
And he's saying that, but he's also practicing it because they're fucking crucifying him in the media and stuff about he's ruining his career. He'll never get hired again. He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit, but he will get hired again.
Yeah,
because now he's bringing something else to the table. #depth.
Yeah, I hope he does more movies. I really do. I want to see, but something he has a little more creative
dramatic
control.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, did you ever see Sunshine?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? That's one of my favorites. Absolutely.
Good fucking movie.
I love that. Yeah.
That was good. And then you had, what was the other one? He was Truman Show.
Yeah.
Because he was played kind of a straight guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I think he realized, too, that there's only so much of that slapstick comedy you can do before it just kind of fizzles out.
You know what? I think is Cable Guy the last crazy fucking movie he did?
Mask was before that.
Yeah, he got Masked, then Pet Detective.
He
Detective
did two of those.
My goddamn favorite.
That was good. They were both great. I loved them both.
Just some of the funny shit that he did in that was like when he's driving that fucking. I'm sorry, man. I lost my shit the first time I saw this. But he's driving that truck, and he's like, and then you look at the other guy, and the truck's not even going over any bumps, but he's acting.
Yeah.
So then he's like, oh, look, parking spot. And it was just a little spot between these two trucks. And he just says, hold on. And he rips the wheel. And then you just see this fucking truck roll like 15, 20 times, right? And then, boom, just fall perfectly into the spot. And he's like, leans out and like a glove. And I fucking lost it. It's a good movie. I love that one.
Yeah, I love the first one, too. And then Dumb and Dumber was great. Shit. He had so many hits based on that humor, but I mean, as you talk to him now, he was happy. He doesn't regret doing any of that, but he also realized, he said that was squashing who he really was. Yeah. He was bringing out this little Muppet or something.
Right, but he also said that some of those characters, like when I think he was talking about The Mask, this one I saw talk about that, he said, that was me. That was kind of, I was just being myself, but just on a more powered level.
When he had the mask on. Yeah. Really? Okay.
Now that is my second favorite movie of his.
That is a great one.
Because the humor was so cartoony, and it didn't go over the top.
No.
It would get to that, you'd stretch, and then boom, he'd come back. And that's what I liked about it. Like some of the music scenes.
Yes.
The way that shit would pop in when he'd do Cuban Pete. Like, the open he did. Let's rock this joint.
Yep.
Just that energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they could get away with more because he was a cartoon character.
And
it was
the humor,
great.
though, man. Yeah. Some of the stuff he'd say.
Yep.
It was just awesome.
Yeah, that was...
But getting back to what we're talking about. #depth. Jim Carrey, nowadays, you just listen to it's moving. It's beyond moving. It's potentially life-changing.
Yeah, he's super inspiring.
Yeah, if you take into consideration some of the stuff he's talking about, because, I'm kind of thinking-wise, I'm kind of in that same boat. how often do I say, you came into this world naked, cold, and alone, and you're going to go out the same way. You're not taking anything you made with you, So it's like, how much of it matters and how long does it matter?
Yeah. Well, that's so. He had an interview. He went to some fashion show, I think it was, something like that. Something with almost no depth to it whatsoever. And he shows up and they're interviewing him, and he kind of goes on this, what was considered a rant about. They're like, so what do you think of all of these costumes or and the get-ups and stuff? He's like, I'm just here to experience this. None of this matters. He's kind of answering things like that, and like, well, and you could tell it kind of caught them off guard, the person interviewing him.
Yeah,
because it was like a red carpet thing. He just kind of showed up because he wanted to see this, because he wanted to experience it. And it was tough for him to get that across to them and get them to understand that I'm not here because I like this stuff. I'm not here because I don't like this stuff. I'm just here to experience it and just see what happens. But he wanted them to know that none of this matters. I want you to know that I realize that none of this matters. So this interview doesn't matter. I'm just here to experience this, and I'm going to go home. So
well, and that's just that's almost a xenophobic reaction on the external people's part too.
It's anything you don't understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not like us. Mm-hmm. Not like us. Not like us.
Yeah, Nate actually brings up a good point here. He says, I agree, but I don't understand when he says he doesn't exist.
Oh, he's talking about the persona of himself that he's manufactured, concocted, and built that into that avatar, that facade that represents him. That was what he thought he wanted to be, but more so he thought what everybody wanted him to be, and he was always a pleaser.
Yeah.
So he's discarded that, and he's treating that as what he considers it, and that's a mask, and so he sets it aside.
Yeah, it's when he says that, yeah, exactly what you're saying. He's trying to basically let them know the Jim Carrey you expect and know and love, it doesn't exist anymore. This is it. I'm just Jim. Yeah, but he, he'd
be great to have dinner with.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to talk to him, but he could do a better job to get people to explain, to get people to understand what he's trying to explain. But he doesn't care. So you got to understand.
He may have gotten to a place where it's like, it's not that he's apathetic. He's just, dare I say, ascended. Or like leveled up, or just he's in kind of a different place to where he's like seeing things in a different way.
Yeah,
not bad.
It's crazy. You could see this was there in a lot of the films he started to pick later in his career, like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah,
that is totally where Jim Carrey is kind of at now. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you could see he was doing things with more depth instead of the surface level shit, because he was all surface level. And for the entirety of his career, it was never him. It was never... He said in an interview he had the gift of getting the best out of people, because when people come to see him, all their worries and shit go away, and they can just sit at him and watch him contort his body and laugh.
Yeah.
So he doesn't regret doing it, which is kind of neat. A lot of people say they regret it.
All the characters he played, though, he could say, that wasn't me, but when in reality, it is, because you're putting a bit of yourself into it. I mean, it's just because we're an amalgam of pretty much everything that's happened to us. That doesn't mean that everything that's happened to us shall define us.
Sure.
There's difference, but you're still an amalgam of everything that's happened, and it's just what you've chosen to do with it.
That's a weird thing to... sit and kind of toil over. I do this from time to time, and you had a good way of saying it there. People say, like, well, I find out who I was. And I sit there and I think about, okay, all right, who am I? Sometimes I do that, just like, who am I? And you start to think about, okay, well, I'm this, this, and this, right? And then you realize, well, that came from this person and this person, or this experience. And you start to, like, pick apart, like, well, what the fuck? I'm just, exactly what you said. I'm just little parts of all this shit that's happened to me. It's weird.
It's natural, because if you think about it, we're just composed of atoms that are attracted in a certain, so you get all that little stuff. So it's just, I don't know. I guess in the long run, it's what you make of it.
Yeah, experience as much as you can,
and that's what I like about Jim Carrey, because
respect everybody.
Now, in our favor, right, for the naysayers, he can afford that lifestyle.
Yeah.
He can afford to have no expectations and know that none of it means anything because, well, he's who he is.
You know, part of that, maybe he has, but I wish he would recognize that a little bit. Like
He never
out in
does.
the open.
He never has. And I'm not slamming him. But
No.
that's the only real negative thing I could say.
Because if connecting in a positive way with people like us is something he's really searching for, maybe he's not, but if he is, that would be a really good idea to say, listen, I worked for this. I got all this money and time. I don't have to go and do a regular job now. I can just work on things and passions and stuff like that and be in this frame of mind. I don't have to bust out of it and go in the cage for a while, you know? And Joe Rogan had Russell Brand on. I think I turned you on to that guy. It's the same way with him and Joe Rogan, man. They get into these deep conversations where I find myself just getting enthralled in this. Just holy cow, these guys get it. They're on a whole...
When was he on?
God, this was maybe about a year ago, maybe less.
That'd be easy to find out.
Russell Brand, he can be tough to keep up with, but holy shit, that guy is.
I mean, you want to talk fucking stream
depth.
of consciousness. He's almost like the British Robin Williams,
Yeah.
without the zaniness.
Yeah.
But I'm talking just the way that stream of consciousness, the way he just Carlin was another one who did that. But Brand, no, I love Brand because he comes off it. I think his initial persona can disarm you to a degree.
Sure.
And, you know, people get freaked out by that. But if you listen, he's got some depth because he talks about some real shit, you know, just about how.
Yeah.
And did you ever see the Morning Joe show that he was on?
Yes, I did. When he was on there, and they basically, it was really awkward.
But it was fun awkward because he just took over.
Yeah. Because they wanted to box him into this little thing and make him this little...
No, do you remember what set him off?
Shit, it was...
His boots.
Yeah,
She's
they
like,
kept commenting on that.
Yeah, well, he put his... He walked in, he sat down, and she's like, oh, you got nice boots. He goes, do I? And he picks them up, puts them on the table. These boots.
Yeah.
You know, and then he just... Go on, talk about him some more, because he was just going at him for being overly commercial, and then... he just pretty soon he took their copy and started reading their
he wanted
copy
nothing to do with it after
with his
a while.
spin. Yeah, but I mean the way he just took the show over.
Yeah. The crazy thing about him too is like the stream of consciousness thing, right? It's one thing to stream of consciousness to me, I kind of equate it to like almost thinking out loud, getting what you're thinking right on the spot out loud, right?
Right.
Anybody can do that. Anybody can just sit here and get thoughts. We're kind of doing it now, right?
Right.
But it's weird. His stream of consciousness, he's so smart. I think he's honestly a super smart guy that his stream of consciousness seems like a well thought out story or well thought out response. It's strange. Like he must, maybe it takes practice. You just keep doing it. But his is
No, I've seen so many goddamn interviews with him.
Oh, sorry.
Where I don't think he has to memorize anything there. I'm pretty sure because you see him on interviews and stuff, man. They'll be asking him stuff, and he's like all over the place coming at him.
Yeah.
You know, and what do we got up here? Anything?
Oh, okay. So Nate says, and that makes a lot of sense. He liked the explanation. Really enjoyed the Truman Show. Amanda, hello, Amanda.
Yo, Amanda, what's up?
You are who you are because
Buttercup.
not of the things that have happened to you, but the lessons you have learned from those things. You do not find yourself. You choose who you are through your perspective. Just my thought. I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good point.
Hold on.
Hey, Amanda, you have hashtag depth. Hashtag depth.
I'll allow it.
You'll allow it?
I'll allow it.
Wow.
How come
if
judges
she was here
in-
right now, she would hit you.
How come judges in England are like court dudes? Wear the
wigs.
it's with the wigs, the powdered wigs. I don't get that.
Maybe they just don't like people balding.
No. Well, no, because you have this guy who have all this fucking hair. And then he'll put this thing on and it just looks like a transgender Rapunzel.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder these things. No,
Why?
late at night, like, you know, when you get up like 2:30 in the morning because you gotta take a leak. Mm-hmm. And then you're sitting there on the toilet and you start pondering those bizarre deep thoughts.
Why do all of our officials have to wear a suit and tie?
What things, the stuff that goes into the soap? Like, how many bodies do you think it's like been through the ages?
What the fuck? I just got lost all of a sudden here. Hashtag depth.
Well, like water. Let's talk about water just for a second.
Okay, sure.
No,
Yeah.
Water is one of the oldest fossils on the earth. it's been through so many assholes and sweat pores and other places, you know, over time. I mean, the waters are there, it's here, everyone's been drinking it and doing other things to it. So just everything that you're drinking that's fluid, for the most part, fish have fucked in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And shit in it. Yeah. In the ocean, there's plenty of people pissing in it. You know, it's just, come on.
Plenty of people. It's like John Travolta is playing John Gotti.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stream of Consciousness Radio, #depth. Okay.
Depth.
Wow. Did your meds kick in, sir? Jesus Christ. So we're going from pissing into the ocean, water. Did you know that? Or
John Travolta is playing John Gotti. John Gotti.
So is this brought to you by Scientology or something? Because he's in it.
Well, maybe not. Who knows? But it looks good. I mean, the way he's portraying him in the trailer, it's like, because we always saw Gotti when he was pretty, right?
Sure.
You know, in front of the cameras for the most part. So you see some like grainy FBI shit. But
so he's going to play Gotti.
He's going to play Gotti, and he's
interesting.
He looks good as a fucking mobster.
What's he look like now? Is he still kind of ballooned up a little bit, or because he gained a little bit of weight?
He did.
Right?
He's oddly you'd have to see him.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right.
You know, he's kind of a taller Don Amici.
Yeah, over my head. Don Amici, yeah. Me and
old.
Don Amici were like this.
He was like
I don't even know if Don Amici's a guy or a girl, but
Don Amici is a guy.
Is a guy. #depth. Yeah.
70s dude. Really cool.
So what in your brain's receiving and sending department, as we like to call it, what made you have to get that thought out?
Oh, it was just there.
It was just there?
You know how it is when like you're going to go downstairs and you've got stuff you're going to take downstairs with you?
Yeah.
Well, first you'll just kind of put it by the stairs, right?
Yeah.
So that when you go downstairs, you'll take it all in one. So it's kind of like that.
Okay.
You know, I was coming down the stairs and I said, oh, hey. Thought you might want to know this.
We always joke, I'm sure we've mentioned this, but I always joke about John's brain because you have to just get things out. When they hit you, you got to get them out. And a lot of times it's like, which we found out, it has nothing to do with the conversation. It just needs to get out there, and then he can go on with his day. And I imagine it's the shipping
sometimes
department.
That shit will throw me into neutral.
Sure.
It's like
yeah.
somebody will be talking, right? And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm listening, but then I'm not listening. I'm just like, just waiting for them to stop talking so I can say, by the way, did you know that cats don't like litter boxes that are made from cornflakes? You know?
Yeah. I imagine in your brain right now is just a really shitty TSA. Send it fucking through. What the
There's
really?
a gun. The gun is sitting. It's in a clear plastic bag. Get it out of here.
Tonsillitis on John Travolta's back. We need to send that out. Like, okay. It's just
for porpoises.
It's one
and a wet Nigerian.
It's one fat guy who hates his job, just kind of looking at his nails, not even paying attention, just sending everything through. Mm-hmm. That's your brain.
Go.
Yeah. That's awesome.
No, it's like the back of a C-130. Go.
So, you had a friend named Johnny Dirks. This is not a good transition, but we have to get into,
yeah.
Sure. We have to get into the JP crazy fucking story time because you seem to have more stories than most people should most people who have as many stories are dead.
Johnny Dirks and I had a blast together.
So what's one that comes to mind?
Well, I just coalesce it.
I wasn't supposed to say his name. Sorry, Johnny Dirks.
His name's not Johnny Dirks. We call him Johnny D.
It's too late.
Doesn't that
now.
sound like a toilet cleaner?
We're live.
Oh no. Shh. #depth.
So Johnny Dirks.
This is Johnny Dirks. Let's see. I met Johnny Dirks when I went to work for the Chart House in Lakeville.
Oh, Minnesota guy. All right.
Minnesota guy. So working at the Chart House, great place, fantastic atmosphere, great to work at, high intensity, you know. And well, Johnny and I, you know, we were trying to help rid the world of weed.
Sure, but yeah, by burning it, getting rid of it.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
get rid of this shit.
Yeah.
And so we were always doing shit, you know. And one day, myself, Johnny Dirks, and Jay Pitzel were back in this storeroom, way back in the fucking building, like shadows and shit, right?
Sure.
And we got all this. This is where we get the beer for. It's like, I forget the name of it, but it's like $12 a case.
Camo.
Of this beer, and we made our beer batter with it. And so I had stacked the boxes up, like the door opens like this, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'd stacked all these boxes up behind the door, and but I staggered him. So I climbed all the way up to the top, and I'm sitting there, right? And so now, where I'm sitting, the top of the door is right here. You know,
It's up to like you're above your waist.
no,
So you're
it's
tall
right
up.
right about my
Well,
lap level.
You're saying here. I don't know if the camera can see that. Yeah.
Lap level.
Yeah, lap level. Got it.
Right about where my penis begins.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there. Oh man, Pitzel, Dirksy, and I were getting high.
Yeah.
Let's just get it out there.
Well, I think the people understood that.
I know.
Yeah.
I think they know what I mean. All of a sudden, the door opens up. It's the owner, right? She's like, I have the pipe in my hand, right? I've just taken a massive hit. And I'm sitting there, I cup the hot fucking thing in my hand, right? It burned. He's yelling at these guys, what the fuck you guys doing in here? What do I smell? They're like, nothing, man. He goes, what are you doing here? And Dirksy's like, getting some beer. And Dirksy runs the Pitzel's like, I was helping him. And he grabs one, and then Frank just kind of looks around. And I'm like, door closes. He goes away. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that was so fucking close.
Yeah.
We were always doing stupid shit. I remember one night well, this wasn't Dirksy's fault, but he was there.
So nobody got fired from that, by the way?
No.
Nobody. Wow.
No.
He knew what you guys were doing back there. He just didn't care
He
enough.
needed us. We were the
Oh, okay.
We were the
Gotcha.
meat and potatoes.
Gotcha.
At least we like to tell ourselves that. But we used to love playing practical jokes. I think you know this story already.
Okay.
We'd cellophane the toilet in the employee bathroom, and we were good.
That's
So
what that was. This place.
That was this
Okay.
place, so
yeah.
we could get this really tight, you know. And we had this. It was unisex. All right.
Oh, that's a fucking dude. You guys are.
Yeah, I know. It was the 80s.
Oh, we're going with the
It's
80s.
the 80s.
Hashtag. It was the 80s. Yeah.
So
Hashtag.
we had
blessed.
this one waitress whose name will go unmentioned, seriously. But she would eat out of the bus tubs.
Oh, sure.
She's
sure.
an older woman.
Okay.
She's worked up north in the summer ranger shit, I think. But she'd pull steak bones out and just start.
Okay.
And I'm like, Dad, don't do that. Anyway,
Sure.
she's using the bathroom.
Oh no.
She goes in the bathroom, right? And Dirk's, you know, oh my, we're cooking. All of a sudden you hear this, oh,
Oh
and
no.
all of a sudden you hear the door slam open, and Carol comes out holding her fucking pantyhose between her ankles, going, "You sons of a bitches! You sons of bitches! I'm gonna kill you!" She
Oh man.
hobbles back into the bathroom. She's so.
So okay, you got her with that.
We got her. So then Johnny and I thought it would be good to reset it.
Yeah, do it again. You know.
It worked the first time. So we do it. And we tighten this fucking
Fuck.
thing up.
Yeah.
And Captain Dan comes walking by.
Who's Cat and Dan?
Captain
The
Dan
boss?
was the owner of the chart house at one point. I think at this point he had sold it maybe, but he was still working there.
Jesus. Sweating bullets time for you guys.
And Dan goes in the bathroom, and Dirksy and I are looking at each other. We're like, fuck. You know? And a couple minutes later, door opens up. Now, Captain Dan, he was fucking awesome. He was a righteous dude. He would wear these like green golf shirts, and then these yellow, like Easter yellow
Holy shit, 80s.
slacks
Yeah.
and the white shoes.
Nice.
Yeah, he
That's some
was
style
fucking
to him.
styling.
Nice. Did he have a little walk too when he was wearing that stuff?
No,
Okay.
he walked like it hurt.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Ass stuff. Okay.
I asked.
Yeah.
He comes out of the bathroom
Okay, I can
a
relate.
couple minutes later, and he goes walking by, and he's like, "That's pretty goddamn funny, boys.
Shaking his pant leg.
Pretty
yeah.
goddamn funny."
Yeah.
It's like, that was so cool. I mean, he was just so awesome. So we put it away after that.
God, I never did anything like that to people. I Crisco'd window wipers, dumped dry oatmeal into like the vents in a car. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Cayenne pepper.
In what?
Pour that into the vents of a
Oh,
car.
that's fucked up. No. God, no. That gets in your eyes and shit, you inhale that? That's an awful fucking time.
Well, that's what you would do to an enemy, a hated enemy.
Nah, I didn't fuck with enemies for the most part.
No, but if you were Liam Neeson, you would.
Yeah, he's done doing action movies.
He said he's doing them again.
What?
Yeah, he just did an interview here this week. I was reading on the
Way to
interwebs.
have some conviction, you fucking dick. I guess your words about his Expensive as what?
Well, no, I think
double
I think
cheeseburger?
there was a. They're like, we're gonna give you millions. He's looking at the checking account, hundreds of thousands.
I
Okay,
think-
then I'll take it.
I think Liam Neeson has more than hundreds of thousands in his bank account.
Well, he might have been like eating out a lot,
What do you mean by
like
that?
Culver's instead of like McDonald's. you
okay,
know,
gotcha.
The good stuff.
Damn.
Sometimes round robin.
Oh, round
Living-
robin.
Living the fucking life.
Damn,
Living the dream.
that's insane.
Watched another trailer for Blade Runner.
Oh man, excited?
Can't fucking wait.
I haven't seen the
I have
second trailer.
purposely. I haven't watched a lot of the trailers. I've watched like
Yeah.
3 trailers, but they've got a lot of other trailers and clips and interviews and shit like that.
We doing a midnight of that, or are we? It depends on when it is.
yeah,
it's because
I'm
of
game.
work. Okay.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'd love to go
I
see
don't
that.
fuck with you.
Yeah, there you go. Because that's a movie you're gonna go see in the theater.
Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope.
It looks so far. It's looking very, very good. I just hope the storyline is tight. 'cause-
So, not to just, are you expecting something good, or are you kind of keeping your hopes down just to not
oh
get
no,
let
I,
down?
I things like this, I always go in with little or no expectation.
That's good. That's the
mean-
recipe for a good life.
I mean, I might have a hope,
Yeah.
that they don't fuck it up, but that's about the extent of it. But
Sure.
so far, it's not looking like they're gonna fuck it up. I've been watching Dangerous Days, which is like it's just a compilation of the extras on the DVD, but it's basically 3 hours long.
For Blade Runner.
Yeah, the making of Blade Runner.
Oh, gotcha. Dangerous Days. Okay, I didn't know the
It's
reference.
fucking awesome because it goes into depth and it goes into all of the negative shit that happened. Hampton Fancher was writing the screenplay at first, and then at one point he was kind of being him, and the studio was kind of being the studio, and so they parted ways, and they brought David Peoples in, and then he finished it, and then the two, Fancher and Peoples, started working on it together. So then you just got this beautiful fucking
Yeah.
masterpiece. But they go into, you see different screen tests for different actors they wanted for different parts.
Oh, do they have this recorded to
Yeah.
see? Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and it's really, that stuff's really cool. And then
That's
they show
cool.
how they made stuff, and like they I think I stopped it when they were talking about the Bradbury building in California, which we wanted to go see that when we were there, but we didn't have time.
Sure.
But they filmed Blade Runner in there and lots of other movies. But they had it from 6 at night until 6 in the morning, right?
Weird.
So they had to make it look at rain, like the ceilings had ripped in and broke in and stuff, and so it was pretty crazy.
Oh, nuts.
What they had to do.
Was that a big budget for a movie? Back then, when it was, because that's what, 80.
Because they went over budget.
Was
And
it 81 or 2 or something? Or
2.
82? Okay. They went over budget on the movie. Yes.
One time, Johnny Dirks, Jay Pitzel, and I,
We're back.
it happens. It was wintertime, and we were driving across Crystal Lake, not to be confused with Lake Crystal down by Mankato. This is Crystal Lake over by Apple Valley, for those playing the home game.
For those in Minnesota who even know what these things are.
Whatever, mate.
We
Fuck
have,
off,
we
all
have
right?
lakes everywhere. If I spit on the ground, we'll call that the 10,001th lake. We'll go with the one.
We'll go with
Go
one.
ahead, yeah.
So we're driving across this lake, and Jay's driving, and he shouldn't be driving.
Shouldn't be.
He should. He wasn't drunk.
Uh-oh.
He was just he was feeling pretty Colombian at the time,
Oh, boy. Okay.
as were we all. And he's going really fast. He's going really, really fast, like about 90 miles an hour
Oh, boy.
across this fucking lake of ice. And Dirks, he's like, dude, what do you think? Dirks, he's in the back seat, right? No seatbelt. He's just kind of going back and forth. And he's like, hey, man, what do you think would happen if you jerked the wheel? And Parker, he goes, Parker, what do you think would happen if you jerked the wheel, man?
Oh, boy.
That's about how he sounded.
That's
And
real.
Pitzel,
That's too high. You took too much.
and Pitzel's like, dude, you better not. And I'm like,
Oh, boy.
I just grabbed it, and next thing you know, just going round and round, and I'll never forget it. Dirksy's like, hey, man, what are those lights that are going around? And Pitzel's like, fish houses.
Oh, you guys were heading toward fish houses?
No, we were just going by fish
Oh,
houses.
sure.
Like this. Mm-hmm. And then the car straightened out, wiped some of the shit off the windows, and then we drove off the lake.
Yeah, time to get off the fucking lake. Yeah.
So that was, it was the 80s. in my defense.
Not much has changed. He still is careless, just slower about it. That's
It's a careless whisper. Hashtag dumb.
Are you going to hum it?
You want a Hummer?
No, are you going to hum it?
That's
I don't want a Hummer.
Well, you're asking me to hum it. If I hum it, am I not a Hummer? Hashtag dumb.
Oh, that's hashtag depth. Absolutely. Yes, you are a Hummer. Yeah.
Let's see. Blade Runner's coming out. Other than that, no other.
Nope, no other
movies.
movies that I know of that I'm excited
Watched
about.
Willow Creek,
Willow Creek is
a movie, a found footage movie. How about Bigfoot?
God, you love those found footage movies.
I like good ones.
Okay.
I don't like ones that suck.
Yeah.
And some of them suck. This one did not. It's about this guy who's taking his girlfriend, who's like the smart one, but then at the same time the not so smart one.
Okay. Sorry.
To this place where they actually filmed the Bigfoot tape. You've seen that, right?
Oh yeah, where they
He's walking across the.
So
whatever
you tell me they're gone squatching?
Yes, they've gone squashing. So
shit.
he's trying to get to where the video is taken. So he's doing a little documentary, but then things go south.
Turns out he's real.
It turns out it
In a world.
In a world
Without air. Well, your feet are too big.
I used to when Kayla was younger, I'd always come up behind her, not always, sometimes, and just go. I go, imagine a world without air. She died.
Father of the year.
Father of the
Fake
year.
suffocation of your children.
Dirksy. What else?
For movies? Oh.
No, Dirksy. Well, here's a
Dirksy. Oh.
one last
Jeez.
Dirksy.
Okay,
Dirksy.
sounds
You
good.
brought
Yeah,
this up.
Well, I didn't think you'd tell 10.
Well, everybody knew that we, were burners back then,
Yeah.
right? And so the sous chef was this Christian dude named Greg. And Greg was awesome. He knew how to cook, kept his temperament. He was a good sous chef. And very Christian, though. He believed in the Lord's work, the Lord's word, and he performed duties for the Lord. Sorry. No, not those kind of duties. That's a Cyndi Lauper impression.
Hashtag creepy.
Hashtag creepy. But Greg, the Swinging Ambassadors were coming into town, and when the Swinging Ambassadors,
The fuck's the swinging ambassador?
they were this little trio, I think it was, if I
Okay.
remember right, but they played like old timey music type shit.
Sure. Okay.
But when they would come to town, we would have a packed house. I mean, we would just pack the house, and we'd go down to a 3-item menu, right? But the good stuff. And so it's about 4:00. We're opening in a half hour, and Greg comes up and he says, "You guys got your stuff set up?" Because I was broiler, deep fry, and then Johnny was grill. And I'm like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go look."
Is this how we talk?
This is how he talked. Right?
Wow.
He had a very, very soft-spoken man.
Okay.
Such soft, supple skin.
Okay.
And anyway, so he goes over to the line. He's like, just looking at our stuff, and Johnny and I are like,
The fuck?
and then Greg comes back over. He goes, "All right, looks really good." He looks up the line. He looks down the line. He looks down the line one more time. He goes, "Now, why don't you boys go out back and do whatever it is you do out there, and then you get back in here and you do what you do best."
That is so fucking awesome.
And Johnny and I are like, we look at each other.
Out you go.
We
Yeah.
were out to the Ho Chi Minh Trail, man.
He realized that you guys had to get in your little fucking space.
Zone. Get in our zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Johnny and I, man, he was really fun to work together because there was we worked in tandem without even. It was kind of spooky sometimes because we'd get into that place to where we're not even telling each other things. We're just it was kind of fucking weird.
And in food service, you kind of have to have that flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that can just be.
You need that flow,
Constant
but you
shit
don't
going on.
always have that flow. But when you really get someone like that, you just it's like a symbiotic relationship for the night, It's fucking awesome.
Because when you guys are slammed, man, that can be kind of high stress for certain people. Like some people just aren't wired to deal with that. Constant, just holy shit, 10 tickets and you know.
And 10 tickets, 10 tickets, 20 more tickets. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember when early on in my cooking career. I remember trying to run a broiler, and I'm just like, fuck,
Yep. You have to learn the flow.
Yeah, to where it's like I got kicked off the broiler so many times when I was like 19, 20 and shit.
Oh, sure.
But shit, man, second half, man, it was freaking hired and shit on the broiler. Fucking everything's
Just
might
figuring it
be
out.
throwing them off the fucking grill, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was the 80s, so
Sure.
you know, it was just really fun.
When did you decide to get into like an IT background?
Well,
Because we won't.
I mean,
we won't,
honestly,
we won't talk about the company we work for. But I mean, how did you get into that?
I've been into computers since I touched my first Osborne portable, quote unquote, portable computer.
Sure, that's when you were into technology. But when did you decide to pursue it?
Well, from the first time I touched that Osborne,
Oh, okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
You know, that's just, I knew that was in my core, you know, but there weren't really any opportunities. So, you know, I just fucked with computers in my basement, you know, break fix type shit, you know, after a while, you don't even think about it. And then in 92 or 3, a store opened up in New Ulm. Well, there was the paper company, Kempsky Paper Company, awesome place to work. They had a little computer arm, and I worked for a guy named Bob Skillings, and I went in and just to see what they had to offer as a store.
Sure.
In a computer store, and I was in there, and we talked for 2 hours, and you know, he kind of picked up on my passion for that shit, and I walked out with a job.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
That's
because I had a job at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I was going to school too, but I had a job, but I'm like, yeah, I'll take the job. I'll fucking work full time with you. And I just told him, and I was going to do the other job too, but then the boss wrote a shitty note at the restaurant I worked at, and I'm like, you're a dick. Boom, I quit. Here's my notice. Yeah. And she's like, that's not what I meant.
So that's when you kind of got your chops, so to say, right?
Well, because I'd been getting my chops in the basement forever, but now I was working with other people and touching their stuff.
And like credible chops, so because like work experience, I guess is what I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. Yeah, same. Mine was kind of a tinkering thing as a young kid. I thank my dad. Thank you, Dad, for showing me the computer stuff, because he would get stuff and maybe from some of his friends, even junked up rigs, and I would figure out how to make them work.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
And I blew up more shit than I knew what to do with, because back then it was a hell of a lot harder than it is now. Now it's so much easier, not just because of the wisdom we have, but there was a lot less
modular
compatibility back then. Yeah, exactly. You had to like read and figure out how to get things to fucking be compatible.
Though, as complicated as it was back then, it was simpler times.
Sure.
I mean, that complication was just like that little area. You know, you look at some of the shit we got to deal with now, you know, like some of the stuff, you know, you deal with and, well, I deal with. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's simpler, it's more modular, but at the same time, it's like, since it's so much more simpler and so much more modular and so much more faster, you have more. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like an exponential thing.
I think that's why I like it, though, because my brain works in the way where if I'm not challenged or there's not something new to learn, I'll just fizzle out completely with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to have a challenge of some sort.
Football.
Yeah.
You love football.
Oh, I love football.
You are a football junkie. If football was a food,
if
you'd eat it.
Football was a drug, I would have to go to rehab, and not just like for a month, but a 6-month stay.
We'd have to have an intervention where we all read letters.
Yes, exactly. I'll put it to you this way: my football addiction, and it is 9 hours every Sunday.
Yep.
Sit in the garage. I get to hang out with my parents and friends and stuff, and we watch 6 to 7 hours.
And you get the red zone.
Yeah, red zone. So it's all just kind of goes from game to game and shows the big plays and stuff as they're happening, and then sticks on the games that are competitive. No commercials. So this is 6 to 7 hours of injecting heroin into my eye football, and then I go home and proceed to watch the Sunday night game for 3 hours, and that's every Sunday. And then I watch Thursday night games.
And he does this every year.
Yep.
So tell me what's going on in football right now. What's happening?
Well, let's stick with our local team real fast. The Minnesota Vikings. Quarterback's out, but they figured out a way to be really good. They've got a wide receiver that I believe is leading the league in yards now. His name is Stephon Diggs. He is phenomenal. He's not a big, tall guy. He's a small finesse guy. He runs good routes. He works on the precision stuff, and he can cut so fast on the field that nobody can really keep up with him. But the key to being a good wide receiver in the NFL is not only have that sort of skill set, but to also have, if somebody's on you and grabbing you, to fucking crank their hands right off of you and then make the catch. He's got the full fucking package.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now we just got to protect him.
Protect the quarterback. They have actually been doing a lot better job with that.
No, protecting that little tiny running back.
Well, the wideout, yeah. They got a rookie running back who's good. The Vikes are 2-1. They're tied for the division lead with like the Packers and the Lions.
Cool.
And the
how
Bears
many games do they play? I'm kind
in
of
a season?
a fair weather baseball fan. Or football fan.
I kind of am in a way because it's fantasy football. I believe it's a 16-game season.
Okay.
17. Yeah, because the playoffs in fantasy football in our league are 13, 14, 15, and 16, I think.
Because like I'm not that good with sports, but
yeah.
I know what they mean when it's like it's third period, fourth down, nobody on.
It's a 17-week season, 16 games. You get a bye week.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's.
Would you play that sport that I just suggested?
No.
Why?
I don't like baseball.
But it's.
I know you mix them all together, but the only part about that I don't like is baseball.
I don't like Yahtzee. I just don't like Yahtzee.
Yeah. It's been a weird season.
Hey, how about baseball? But you have to roll dice to see if you can move to the next base. So each runner has to roll the dice to see if they can.
This wouldn't work. This isn't working.
So like if you get two guys on the base at the same time, they're both out. 2 outs.
Well, they have to fight to see who's out.
To the death.
Yeah. You mix a little MMA with this stuff? Oh, fuck yeah, I'd watch baseball. You want to steal a base? It's now a fucking... You put your two dudes fighting.
I like that. They fight for the base.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And if you steal the base, you actually have to pick the fucking thing up and run it. You got to steal it.
You have to be willing to hit somebody with it.
Sure.
Because that catcher, he's going to try and...
I mean, he's a catcher. It's like, ugh.
I've heard about those
such
guys.
Such an off-putting name, Yeah, the football season has been really strange.
You know what I hate in baseball?
Go for it.
The guys who cleat the fucking catchers.
So it's actually more of a problem with cleating the second baseman than it is the catcher or the shortstop. Because in baseball, there's a double play.
Right.
You know that. And so if there's a guy on first for the team that's batting and they're running to second and they realize this is going to be a double play, their job is to slide into the fielder who's trying to throw to the first baseman to make the double play. And what happens is they'll raise their cleat up to collide with the guy or get in his way so he can't make an easy throw. It's frowned upon to lead with your cleat, but you're supposed to slide into him best you can.
But that's fucked up.
I agree.
Because when you're going into somebody with their fucking cleats pointed,
yeah,
it's like, dude, you're being a dick. Come on. That's not sportsmanlike.
The catchers had it bad because it's legal to run into them.
Yeah, to bowl them over.
Yeah, so the catchers have to
they got to protect themselves and hold on to that fucking ball at the same time.
They have to lay their leg down in front of the plate, so if they slide, the cleats go into your fucking leg, so they don't go to the plate, right? And then they also have to reach for a ball that's generally being thrown from the outfield, so it's never really perfectly on target, and you're just there, and a lot of catchers got fucked up from it, because you're just, a guy's trying to slide into you.
What can happen to your fucking leg? Your knee.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That's the one position in baseball where people actually take a beating, because it's not catcher's funny. It's not every game you get a guy running into you,
right? But when you do,
that's not even the worst damage they take. Having a guy throw a ball 99 to 100 mile per hour at you 100 plus times a game, because the catchers don't come out, they stay in there as pitchers rotate, and a lot of times it's the guy batting will just barely hit the ball. And then it'll ricochet off and hit the catcher in the shoulder. And the padding's like that.
Yeah.
So that's...
Well, is it still?
I mean, it's...
They've improved the padding.
Yeah, but
now,
those
right?
catchers still get fucking beat up because their hands, it'll ricochet off, hit them in the hand, or, I mean, that's... And not to mention you're squatting for the entire game. So their hips and their groin
the
and
knee.
their
I'm
knees.
just thinking my knees right there.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not my knees.
Baseball's coming up to the postseason soon, I think. October.
So what do you think is going to happen this weekend football-wise? See, I'm just bouncing around. I'm all fucking...
Like, you want to talk about football? Then we were talking about baseball. Yeah. This week in football, I don't even know the matchups, the big matchups this week. I don't get into matchups until probably about tomorrow or Friday.
What players you watching?
players I'm watching, the teams I'm interested in, I'm a big Rams fan, and they look decent this year. They're playing. Oh shit.
Who's the shiny quarterback out there right now? Who is
Tom Brady. Still Tom Brady. Tom Brady's like 40 or 41.
Was he the one with Olivia Munn?
No, that was Aaron Rodgers. He's doing pretty good too, but Aaron Rodgers is more of
Oh no, I just cared about Olivia Munn.
Oh yeah.
You dirty girl.
Yeah, sure.
You're naughty. You're lucky I'm married, girl.
Aaron Rodgers is more of he can win it with his feet. He can roll out of the pocket, get open on his own accord, and then throw a ball to a receiver.
I like a quarterback who'll run too. Not all the time, but some when it counts. Because you'll see some will. It's like fucking pocket opens up. It's like run. It's like no run. Now that's armchair quarterbacking right there. Because I'm not there. I don't have that adrenaline. I don't get that feeling. So it's improper and unfair for me to judge.
That's kind of the new way of quarterbacks, though. Exactly what you described. They call them like two-way quarterbacks. You got to be able to run. The problem is the NFL is a very violent sport, and quarterbacks are generally very small in stature. They're tall, but lean, and they get injured very easily. It's funny you mention that because Tom Brady, who's the greatest quarterback of all time, he surpassed Joe Montana. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's still playing. He's the number one quarterback in the league right now, and he has no running skills whatsoever.
Wow.
None. He was known and laughed at by all the teams in the draft because of his stature, his body, no muscle mass whatsoever. It looked like he had never been in a weight room. He ran a 40-yard dash that I think is still the slowest quarterback 40-yard dash of all time. He had no agility skills, and he didn't necessarily have the strongest arm.
So how did he?
Because he is the calmest quarterback under pressure. And he studies the fucking game like a madman. So he realizes the timing.
Well, no, I get that. But if you come to your audition or your tryout and you're not running fast, your arm is shit, you're just okay, why would I even think of bringing him on? He's got to have some stellar aspect to him.
The only stellar aspect that really got him drafted, I don't think he got drafted to like the 5th or 6th round or something. So basically it was an awful day for him because they thought he would go in the 2nd or something. But he was a backup through most of his career at Michigan, at college, not career, but then he played a little bit here in his senior year, and he showed signs of being able to come back in games. He was like a comeback kid. They would get down, and then he would just figure out a way to get him back into the game. But it's not like he did anything particularly well. He just played really well in the clutch. So the Patriots grabbed him late, and this is a cool story because what he did was shows up to Patriots camp. He's like a 5th or 6th round pick. He doesn't even know if he's going to make the team. He has supreme confidence in himself. Go ahead.
So when you get drafted, that doesn't mean you're on the team.
No, absolutely not. Not most of the draft picks, but a lot of them don't make it. So you get drafted in as a low round pick. They got to pay you a very small salary right away, and then if you don't make the cut, see ya. So he was a guy where he was technically a 3rd string quarterback. But or 4th. I think they had 4 there, and he might have been cut, right? Shows up first day, and he goes up to the owner of the Patriots, his name is Robert Kraft. Kraft Macaroni and Cheese.
Okay.
Kraft, Robert Kraft, the owner of that. And he walks up and he says, "Hi, how you doing, sir? I'm Tom." And Robert Kraft said to him, "Oh yeah, you're that quarterback from Michigan we got in like the 5th or 6th round, right?" And he goes, "Yep, and I'm the best decision this organization has ever made." And he walked away. And Robert Kraft, he's just like, "What the fuck?" Because it's a 5th or 6th round quarterback. That's his confidence level. Turns out he was in camp, whatever. They realized, okay, he knows what he's doing. He's competent enough. And he got himself to 2nd on the depth chart.
Okay,
in his rookie year, I believe. And I think it was his rookie year. Well, the main quarterback got injured, out for 5 to 6 to 7 weeks. So Tom Brady's a fucking quarterback now. And they just kept winning. He just had ice cold fucking veins. They had a decent defense, and he didn't fuck the game up for him.
That's cool.
And they won the Super Bowl.
So the quarterback who got injured, now he's 2nd, or
he came back and was healthy, but the team's like, "Listen, Tom team rallied behind him," and then they go and win the Super Bowl, and that was it. Because their quarterback they had in there was Drew Bledsoe, was his name.
Yeah,
they paid him a lot of money. He was one of the good quarterbacks in the league. So everyone was kind of looking at this newer coach. His name is Bill Belichick. By the way, he's going to go down as the greatest coach of all time.
Right. I don't know what I mean.
Made the decision to stick with this scrawny fucking kid named Tom Brady, and they won the fucking Super Bowl, and then the rest is history. They have 5 Super Bowl rings now
with Brady.
Yep, that team has been the top-notch team since 2001, when they beat my Rams in the Super Bowl.
So
they have been dominant, a dynasty, for 16 fucking years. No other sport has that. Wow. 16 fucking years. It's insane. And football's the great equalizer, because what you do in football is when you are dead last in the league, you get the first pick. Right? So they're trying to equalize it that way. Not all the sports do that. And they just keep doing it. And the crazy part is, they do it with a bunch of fucking no-names. They cut all their big-name players. They bring in people who fit their system.
Except for Tom Brady.
Well, yeah, Tom Brady. And he's not even the highest paid guy in the league. He took a pay cut so they could bring other guys in.
Stand-up guy, huh?
Yeah. Did you watch last year's Super Bowl by chance?
No.
Do you remember anybody talking about last year's Super Bowl?
No.
All right.
I didn't even know who was in the fucking Super Bowl.
The Patriots won it.
I told you, man.
So third quarter, you don't even have to be a football fan to understand how crazy this is. Third quarter, they're playing the Falcons, whatever. They're down 28-3.
Okay.
In the third quarter.
Okay, the Patriots are.
The Patriots are. And they fucking won the game. They won the Super Bowl on a last second play in regulation to bring it to overtime, and then they got the ball in overtime and scored, and they won the Super Bowl when they were down 28-3. Everyone was just like, they're done, Tom Brady's done, this is the end of the dynasty, and they come back and they win it. Isn't that fucking nuts? It's like,
do you think Brady gave the little tug of the nut to the spit when he's coming off the?
It's just crazy because I mean he's that good, but you need a little luck, right?
Yeah.
And it's the stars aligned for this one guy, and there you go. So there's my football talk.
I'd say luck, but I'd also say there's some style there. I mean,
sure,
he's
talented.
He's definitely bringing something to the table. That's cool stuff.
Yeah,
that's a cool story.
16, 17 years of domination. They've broken pretty much every record, I think.
Now, how long's he been on the team?
That long.
He's been on the team 16 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's never been on another team. They'll never get rid of him.
I bet he's taking some hits.
Sure. He had one season where he, I think it was the first week, might even been preseason, a defender fell and bumped into his knee as he was planting on it, and he tore his ACL, out for the year. They didn't make the playoffs that year, but I think they still won 10 or 11 games. And then he came back the next year, and I think that's when he broke all the records. He had 50 touchdowns. They had Randy Moss. He broke Jerry Rice's record for most touchdowns in a season, and yeah.
Oh, what's the most touchdowns in a season?
I think it was 23. I think Moss broke it. Yeah.
For
a wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
Catching touchdowns, yeah.
Oh, really? So okay, that's a lot.
And that record's been broken. Not the wide receiver record, but the
So that's
QB
an average
record,
of 1.5 a game?
which is nuts. Like in fantasy football speak, if you get a wide receiver who scores more than 10 touchdowns, he's considered an elite quarterback or a wide receiver.
So then Moss would have been like a mythic.
Moss would have been the guy you pull in your fucking packs. Nice callback. Yeah, he would be the guy. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Trump, but I do want to talk about Puerto Rico a little bit.
Sure.
Because we got a buddy who's got some family down there, and they're picking up the pieces.
It's going to be a long process.
They got running water in some areas. I know that.
It's still no power, right? They won't have that for months.
Well, there's probably some forms of power, Jennies and shit like that. Sure. But other than that, yeah, it'd be nice to see our officials in power get a stick and get them some supplies, get them some.
Absolutely.
Let's treat them like they're a fucking state, not a territory.
Let's not treat them like we treated the people in Katrina.
Yes.
I hope we're sending plenty of aid to Houston and to.
Oh, we are.
A little bit of Florida.
That's why a lot of people have been complaining.
Puerto Rico and a little bit of Houston.
Florida and Texas has been getting a lot of that kind of things, but then Puerto Rico's kind of like, no, next week. It's coming. There's a guy. He's got a bus. He's driving to you.
Yeah.
We're on a fucking island. Did you tell him that?
It's almost like Trump hasn't really cared too much about it. Like maybe he does. It just doesn't seem like he does.
They've been bobbling around the term Trump care. You know, like
for the GOP,
for the GOP thing that hit the ground face first.
It's funny. Other members of the party are blocking it. So,
I know.
McCain, I think.
But I tweeted, you know, isn't that sound like an oxymoron? You know, Trump care, and I thought that was pretty funny in my heart.
Yeah, in your heart of hearts.
I knew it was funny.
Yeah, I like it. I don't think that thing will ever pass. I don't know the details of every part of it.
Said that they're going to push it through in another couple of weeks. And here's what bums me out about that. And no, I'm not going to wax politic. But he just wants to push it through so he can say he pushed it through. Now, if he wanted to push it through because it's got great stuff in it, he's like, hey, man, it's got this in it, it's got this in it, it's got this in it. You know, and if he actually knew what the fuck was in it, on what it was giving and what it was taking away, then probably feel better about it.
Well, I think
this
stems from his refusal to admit he's ever wrong about something. So he says, we're going to do this, even though this thing sucks. He's just going to do it anyway because...
He said he was going to do it.
Yeah, I said I was going to do it. But what if it's wrong? He won't say, well, nothing he does is wrong.
Yeah.
So,
what if it's going to hurt people?
Yeah.
Does he really have a room that's at his hotel or whatever that's all like gold? You know, they always show that opulent room he's in with that's like...
I have no idea.
Everything's gold. It's like, do you really have one of those? I hope not.
I pay no mind to that.
No, but I hope not. I mean, I could not imagine wanting to live in that kind of splendor and actually doing it.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine either.
I just can't imagine surrounding yourself with shit that doesn't make your life better. Like, why do this if it doesn't really do anything for you, you know?
Yeah, because even, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, this is a guy who's lived this way for most of his life, probably.
Yeah.
Right? So you'd think he doesn't look like, he doesn't look happy. He doesn't look like he appreciates any of the gifts he's been given.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the long run, I know I'm not waxing religious, but, you know, he happened to pull a good straw.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
He won some genetic lotteries. You know?
Yeah. It's like, he just doesn't seem fulfilled. When I look at him, I don't see any fulfillment. I don't see any success.
Well, that money success is not going to give you fulfillment. I don't care who
I
you
know.
are. It sure helps ease some stress.
No, but I know, but he just seems miserable.
Yeah. You know, and just imagine this. This will never happen. Well, maybe. Imagine if he came out and all of a sudden he realized like the flaw in his thought process, and he came out and he was real with people. But listen, I was wrong about this, and this. Here's what I'm going to do to change it. Sorry to all these people. You know, just and he came out and just like all of a sudden became
human
and real. Like he's human now. He just
but
not
no,
the kind of human I want to
human.
do. Yeah, and he came out and had a real moment and apologized to people and said, "We're going to fix this." Imagine the backing that guy would get, because it would be insane, because he was so far over here in Shitsville.
Yeah.
Perspective wise for people like myself, that if you were to come over and just become real, it would mend a lot of the problems I have. You know,
it'd be like if you looked at it like a comedy drama movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is like the crotchety old guy. You know, I'm a crotchety old guy. And at the end, he's like, hey, I'm a really nice fucking guy now.
Yeah.
And he really is. So kind of like, just think of it like that, because it's easier to think of. You know, it's not complex.
You just reminded me of something. I have a digression. Did you ever see the movie Shallow Hal?
Yes.
Okay, so, all right, so the movie was just stupid. It was a Jack Black movie.
Yes.
And I just remember going like, all right, this is just a Jack Black movie, whatever. So they put a spell on him, right? So he can find...
Hypnotize.
Yeah,
right?
Hypnotize. Tony Robbins, by the way.
Yeah.
Was a hypnotist. Where he had a heavier set girlfriend, but this, whatever they did to him, made her look skinny. So that's the way the movie kind of rolled. So you thought, okay, this is what this is going to be about. They're eventually going to fall in love or whatever. But there was a part of that movie, and maybe you remember this. He's at the children's hospital under this spell.
Right.
And he's, you know, talking to all these kids, whatever, they're having fun and whatever. A part of the movie happens where the spell gets wore off by Jason Alexander.
Right.
And he goes back to find his girlfriend. And he realizes, oh my God, she's really big. She's not who I remember her as. And he kind of looked at her and he pretended he didn't know her, because truly he didn't. Right. And then he walked around the children's hospital. All the children he had met and grown and loved were like burn victims, and they had like cancerous sores.
Right.
And so that spell he was under also had the effect of making these children look like their inner selves.
Right.
Because that's what the spell was. You see their inner self.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that going, what the fuck did you just do to me? I thought this was a shallow movie, and all of a sudden, #depth.
#depth. Well, we've talked about that before, you know, where you see somebody who might not be the most attractive. I mean, not necessarily hideous, though sometimes, but their being, their person, that personality or whatever it is they put forward just completely changes how you look at someone.
Sure.
And if you've never experienced that, you need to. You're late, son.
Yep.
Yeah, just to be able to look at people and, judge them harshly like I do all the time at the mall.
Well, it works the opposite way, too. Like, I have people in my life, I look at them on the outside only, and I'm like, fucking beautiful. And then you talk to them for a while, and you're just like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. And it's like, oh, Jesus.
You
like,
are ugly as
now
fuck.
But it changes them physically.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't technically, but in
it
your
does.
mind, you're just like, I can't. You're ugly to me now.
Yeah, because when you first saw them, it's like, I'm sorry to anyone who smokes when I say this.
Sure.
But I'm going to say it. But there's been times, because I don't smoke, right? And I
don't either. Yeah.
I just think cigarettes can make, I don't know. I have an aversion to it. It's more of a childhood thing.
Understood.
And all that heavy shit. But whenever I see, there's been times I'll be at a stoplight. It's like, wow, she is really fucking beautiful.
Lights up the smoke. Yeah.
I'm like,
Can't do it.
Everything's wrecked.
Yeah.
And I have a schizoid embolism right there in the intersection.
Yep.
I took my meds, though.
That's good. #depth. #meds. #blessed.
Meds. #blessed. This is #central.
I got one for you. This podcast is brought to you by...
Thermonuclear undergarments.
Wow, this is like the second or third undergarments. Okay, So what does this product do?
Well, it's basically everybody in a given populace wears these. And in case of enemy incursion, last-ditch effort is for everyone to detonate their clothing. Everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
But the blast is directed outwards, so in your suit, you're okay.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Now, if you're in a crowded shopping mall, this could be a problem.
I suppose you would only have to sell one of these, right?
No, we're outfitting like an entire populace, so the whole town.
Well, I mean, each person would only really need one. Then.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a good value stream. Like, you're not like they're not going to wear them out.
No.
So they're only going to
they'll wear them out once.
Once, yeah, once.
And they're wore out permanently.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really good.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, we should probably wrap this up. This is the longest podcast we've ever done.
How long?
We're at an hour and 38 American minutes.
Fucking another broken record, dude. Yeah. Fuck.
I'm so sorry, folks. I always have to be the voice of reason. Oh, no.
What's wrong with being the voice of reason?
I want you to sing us out. Everybody.
Just a gigolo. Everywhere I go, people know the part I'm playing. Late for every dance, so in each romance. Ooh, what will they say? Well, there will come a day when youth will pass away. Oh, what will they be without me? When the end comes, I know I was just a gigolo. Life goes on without me.
See you, everybody.